Yes, team. Mike here. Happy new training phase day in the bank. Now, I wanted to do this as a lovely variation over the 6 weeks to give you a lot more what's coming up and really see where our results and progress is going to lie. Okay. In theory, guys, we have a 12-week training block locked in. However, we have the first 6 weeks of our focus, and then in 6 weeks' time, I'll be able to share what's going on for the next 6 weeks. I think this is going to be a better way, all right? One, experience for you, two, as well, kind of more efficient on kind of my end. And I also think it's better to see the whole 6 weeks rather than just going week by week. I think it's very easy then to become a bit like lackluster or kind of lazy with kind of your days because you're not sure of the progressions, and hopefully this is a better way for us to communicate it to you, okay? So for us, in total, this is going to be better, as in hopefully you can see the bigger picture and you know what you're going to be working towards, and hopefully that should give you that motivation, that kick to keep turning up to those days as well for us, okay? Now, what's going to happen here, guys, is our KPI strength buys. We're going to have a 5 rep max deadlift, all right? We're then going to have a 3 rep max back squat, and we're going to have a 1 rep max kind of strict press. Our conditioning piece is going to focus on our acid bath kind of test, okay? Again, I'll talk about that at a later date for me. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to explain the skeleton of the week, so what happens overall. Then I'll go through it kind of like every day. And then I'll give you a snippet of week 2 and give you an idea of like progressions for me, okay? So again, the reason why this is YouTube is you can go back and forth. You can then see what's going ahead. It will still go up in front of us on the SugarWatt app. But however, you just got this video over the next 6 weeks to know exactly what's coming down the channel for later on down the line. It's going to be really important for those guys running. It's going to be really important for those guys who are really looking to, especially the 8-week challenge that we've got going on as well. Anyway, let's go. Guys, so 6 weeks. First week, okay? We're looking at this week, hopefully it's popped up on your screen now, where we've got ourselves our strength piece. So we got back squat day, okay? And then we're always going to finish on like our lower endurance kind of piece, okay? So lower body endurance, apologies, okay, piece. So you'll always see a squat day with a lower body accessory kind of day. This is to kind of really get max capacity out of our squats, out of our legs. And of course, this will slightly change from time to time. However, the general rule of thumb is going to be, you're going to see a squat variation with our strength goals mixed with a lower body endurance kind of day session, flush them out, okay? On a Tuesday, you see ourselves, we have our press complex. This is where we've got ourselves our pressy kind of complex. So strict press, push jerks this week. And as you can see, we've not started with the 1 rep max kind of strict press. All right, because we find that you're going to have really small gains with the strict press. All right, those guys that tested strict press, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to just build straight into complexes straight away off the bat for us. Okay, and then obviously Tuesday you have a 7-minute AMRAP capacity kind of piece where we have shorter kind of capacity pieces where I want you to try and keep yourself moving, but challenge your body all over. So it's going to be a bit of a full body mix on that kind of strengthy day. So when you see a press complex across the week, you're probably going to see a smaller, different intensity kind of levels, but all body kind of like session to get yourself ass moving, okay? Weightlifting Wednesdays are definitely going to be a thing across this 6 weeks. We can build progression week on week. Obviously, as you can see from this week, you have your complex, high hang cleans and cleans. This is a great chance for us to build our kind of positional strength. This is a great chance for you to get used to these kind of variations. You're always going to see if you have an option of a power or squat variation. I want you to have more empowerment about what you want to work on. I totally get it where some people don't like the squat variation. Okay. However, it's great for those guys that want to be technically sound with a barbell, okay, lift heavier loads. But if you want powers that day, then please do that. As you can see, our kind of weightlifting day will always be followed up with a bit of loading. You'll always have a barbell in the workout. This one's 2-minute AMRAPs and building. You'll have them longer sessions. I'll show you what week 2 looks like in a second. Thursday, we have our longer capacity kind of day. So once a week, you will have a longer kind of capacity kind of piece. Here you got 10-minute AMRAP, 2 reps, 10-minute AMRAP, 2 reps, 10-minute AMRAP. Guys, capacity days, we're going to try and always get a bit of fun out of them. You'll either have them partnered up. Some days you will be on your own. Some days we will be moving around a little bit. But I want to try and make capacities as fun-filled and as kind of ergy, monostructural as possible, so you can get mental toughness kind of days. We can build the resilience and we can build that aerobic kind of capacity for me and power. All right. So once a week, you'll see this on the system. Friday, obviously this week, you can see the touch and go kind of deadlifts, Max testing kind of day. And then from a fitness kind of level, we've got ourselves a bit more controlled, a bit more kind of strength, bodybuilding, kind of focus on full body. You can see that's quite upper body, but lower body induced, okay? Saturday sends, you're always going to see the Saturday sends. You know what's kind of coming down with those. The one thing I would fully recommend with the Saturday sends is to get your butt into the room and book yourself onto those. If there's one social thing across the whole week that I would personally, if it was me, I'd make a non-negotiable about, is being here on a Saturday, okay? There is nothing better than watching a group of people get together and go full send on a workout, okay? That's why they're called Saturday sends, because I want you to send it. I want you to high five. I want you to kind of be really integrated into this kind of ethos that we have here, okay? Building resilience together, all right, is one of the best things to, one, watch, but two, to grow in yourself and confidence in the gym, okay? There's nothing better about it. So if you're nervous, if you've not been to a Saturday, I'd fully recommend getting into this. Guys, gain program is going to be quite same, as in that's going to be our specific kind of days where we're going to look at bodybuilding kind of days, really get technical with this. It's been great program so far, and hopefully we're going to build upon this as we go through. NWX, our kind of high rocks kind of focus sessions. Again, high rocks ATHX kind of sessions. This week you have Athex Fight Gone Bad. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds on, 40 seconds and building. I won't bother about Sundays because they're kind of like unprogrammed kind of days. You should be taking Sundays as a bit more. I totally get it that some people want to fully send a Sunday as well. However, you should be recovering more than anything else to take it a bit more chilled. Yes, you're together. Yes, I know the sessions that go down can sometimes be quite hard, but you shouldn't be fully going into that session going, I'm going to smash this, okay? Your Saturday should be really your full send. If you don't turn up Saturday, send it Sunday. But what I don't like to see is when people send it Saturday and Sunday and then they're tired for Monday, okay? You want to be fresh and ready to go for Monday, okay? Guys, so let me explain each day individually right here, as in week 1, and then I will go into week 2 for us. So, Monday, guys, 3 max back squat. Testing as we're going through, fully send. Let's get that strength piece in. This is going to be our baseline kind of testing. Now, guys, on our fitness day, on a Monday specifically, EMOM 12 minutes. For fitness levels, 10 to 20 wall balls. You're going to see a bit more of this rep range of like 10 to 20 and stuff across the week because we have a different idea on stimuluses here, as in what we want to achieve from that. Now, I want unbroken reps. If that means you're going to do 10 reps unbroken, 15 reps unbroken, 20 reps unbroken, that's the stimulus that we're looking for. That's what we're trying to get from our endurance and obviously build our capacity for us as well. What I don't want you to do is do 10 reps, drop, and then do another 10 reps, especially from like an EMOM focus. Try and stick to the number and gun for it, okay? Guys, you're also going to see this performance. You're going to have a little bit more rep range for me. Now, the reason why this, guys, is, like I say, many different people have different stimulus ranges. Sometimes it's hard to justify saying 5x5 is the old school classic, all right, as in strength training, but it's not just the blueprint we need to work from. If we do 4 reps or like 5 reps, great. But some people, AKA more ladies, they respond better to endurance training than obviously fellas do for us, okay? So girls get better kind of strength gains by maybe having slightly more like higher repetitions than guys will, all right? We'll shift heavier loading, all right, to have to really push the strength training. Girls have a better response and spike from like building lean mass from maybe having like 2-3 reps kind of range rather than 1, okay, if that makes sense. Anyway, so you'll then mix that up with dumbbell split lunges, really good for that hamstring, really good for that glute to finish off that day. And then obviously that rep range from that calories on the bike and then a bit of resting for me. So we should be able to keep quite consistent on a pace and an EMOM to work on these skills for me, okay? Tuesday, we see ourselves come into the strict press kind of complex. So we have a strict press, push jerks, 1 strict press, 2 push press, 3 push jerks, okay? Again, guys, yeah, we're looking for a bit of motor control here. There's a lot of rep range going in here as well. Again, I'm not looking for you to potentially nail it out the bag as in like the heaviest you can ever do. I'm looking for technically sound. Think of the first 2 weeks of getting technically sound on board with this program. And once you've learned the kind of the coordination and stuff, we can build, all right? But there's no point just going heavy for the sake of it, okay? You won't learn, you won't get the results from me straight away. As on a Tuesday or underneath our kind of press complexes, you'll see a bit of a variance coming through, a little bit of capacity. Again, same thing where I'm trying to get a little bit more around the room, get full body kind of like strength grip mixed with that upper body as well. As you can see, positional carries, so farmer carries, front racks, overhead, whatever variation we're going to find fit for you. Burpees, max calorie bike. And then B, you'll have 30 box jump overs. So that's a lot of endurance, especially for those legs. And obviously a flush amount for those guys that maybe didn't do the day before. And then max calories on the ski erg. And then obviously C is 30 dumbbell hang snatches, 10 burpees, max calorie row. So we get a small kind of amount of endurance kind of there. And we're going to see different ranges as we come, but integrate a lot more full body. And we're going to set up that way, as in stations for us. So you'll kind of flip around the room as we go from there. I know Carl's going to do a fantastic job of that anyway. Rest 1 minute and go from there. Wednesday is our weightlifting Wednesday kind of piece from our kind of complexes, specifically those guys looking to really get to grips with this kind of barbell. We also know Barbell Club is there available to you as well. Now, every 2 minutes, 5 sets, high hang cleans, hang clean, clean. You have a choice of power or squat variations, okay? Again, we're looking to get nitty gritty. We're looking to get good positional strength here and a chance for you to get a little bit of loading, all right? I don't need the heaviest possible set. I need the set to feel pretty good, as in our complexes. Over time, of course, we'll increase loading and drop rep ranges, but we need positional strength to be keen to start with if you want any progressions on that. As you can see that day, we then have our fitness and performance. You'll see that we have sit-ups or toes to bar into max rep cleans. So hopefully putting our kind of technique into practice and our technique under a bit of kind of challenge to work on that skill piece for me. And then we should increase in our load as we go through. So nice bit of challenge as we go through and a bit of weight. Thursday is our capacity day this week 1, team of 2. This is going to be completely fun. 10-minute AMRAP, rest 2 minutes. 10-minute AMRAP, rest 2 minutes. 10-minute AMRAP, okay? Again, guys, we've done a slight variation of this a while back, or maybe on a Saturday at some point. But by all means, this time to finish off with, we have sandbag squats, we have pull-ups. They can be strict, they can be kind of kipping chest to bars. Maybe even some guys want to work on a bit more kind of specialty bar muscle ups, but you know, that's what we want to be. And then max kettlebell swings, obviously, as well. So guys, a little bit of partner kind of grindy kind of work, but literally trying to send it together, get in with your partner, really push one another as you go there. That's where you're going to get the best results from your capacity. Guys, some days you'll have your pairs, some days you'll be on your own, but we do want a longer piece on one of the days for you. Again, working on that mental kind of toughness, working on that resilience, and then getting in here and just sending it as well, okay? Guys, Friday on week 1, you then see every 2 minutes, we're looking for touch and go deadlifts. Same thing I always justify and obviously push. Slow control is going to build that midline. Again, yes, week 1, you're going to want to push, all right, touch and goes. Now, I know that some people literally are kind of like, my back hurts, I'm going to completely skip that day. If you have that process and that mindset of skipping deadlifts every time, you're not going to get the most bang for your buck. Deadlifts is one of the biggest strength kind of gainers I can ever push on you, okay? Back squat and then kind of deadlifts. Guys, if you do not deadlift, right, you wonder why you have a weak back, okay? It's because of that reason. We need to work on that strength, especially kind of like people who are getting slightly on the older side, where our kind of bones will start to degenerate, kind of start to kind of like not be as strong. We need to keep that strength. If you constantly mindset saying you want to avoid it, it's never going to get any better, okay? And it'll always be a habit of keep going, okay? So guys, it's really important that we get into the kind of back squat as well. Guys, we're going to follow this up with every 90 seconds. Bit of bodybuilding full body sesh, okay? So reverse lunges, yeah, to carry on a bit of leg strength over as well. Seal row, so upper back, again, pushing into that upper body. And deadlifts, maybe we have deadlifts. Pull-ups kind of work, and then push-ups just for a bit of upper body kind of strength as well. That's a bit of an all-body kind of like session right there, okay? I won't go through the sends and so on. Guys, I'll just flip it into week 2, and then I'll explain a bit more of the progression check-in times. Okay, so as you can see, week 2, I'll pop this up on the screen here. Now, Monday, we actually have our press day. As you can see, we're going strict press into max effort dumbbell push press. So we're starting to get a bit more volume in the bank for me, and then we're supersetting this up. So as we go through this kind of process, our strict presses will start a lot more volume based. So we've done obviously the complex. Now we're looking for a bit more volumes. You'll now start to see like 8 reps. Week 3, 4, and 5, you'll start to see like 6, 4, and 2s. And then obviously going into week 6, we're then seeing like 4, 4, 4, 3, 2. So as we're building loading as week goes on, okay? You're going to see the kind of same format with a bit of a back squat for me as well. As I pull it up here, you can kind of see roughly what happens. Here's a bit of upper body kind of strict strength with that day, also kind of maximizing upper body kind of stress day with our bench press and strict pull-ups and kettlebell swings for grip strength, okay? So as you can see, there's always a slight variation, but we're going to attack a little of upper body with upper body and a little bit of lower body. So as you can see, Tuesday, we then start to bring in back squats and then 8 reps, 8 reps, 8 reps, 8 reps, and 6 reps with a bit of a pause in the first rep to kind of get that bit of spice. Then you can see, obviously, we're mixing this up with lower body endurance kind of pieces again. Guys, from our kind of week 1, obviously we're testing. Week 2, we're going into like 8s. Week 3, we're going to stay around about that 8 rep range. We're going to build volume early doors, okay? And then when we start seeing into like week 4, we'll start to see a bit more like 6 variations going down into 4s. And again, week 5 and then 6, we'll start to see a lot more of this old school kind of setup like 4-4, 2-2-2, like 3-2-1s, and we'll start to build a bit more heavier loading into those days. So as we're kind of building through, you can see the loading progression coming along nicely, okay? Your first 2 weeks are all about volume, getting used to the movements. The next 2 weeks, we're going to keep a bit of volume, but then increase a bit of loading. And then we'll start to drop a bit of loading drop rep ranges to increase and maximize loading as we go through, building ourselves up towards where we want to be for us. The way I want you to think about this program is the first 2 weeks, obviously week 1's testing, the first 2 weeks are like motor control and volume. We will then move into more muscular endurance kind of phase, like two weeks there. And then we'll have 2 weeks in like load will be higher, and then we'll kind of drop a bit of rep range, and then obviously then we'll move into some more like heavy singles and loading, okay? Guys, as you can see, Wednesday, weightlifting Wednesday comes back in the house. You then have a bit of a complex here where we then have clean, hang cleans and jerks. So 2 cleans, 1 hang clean and 1 jerk. Again, your call on power or squat. And then we actually move into DT or workout, all right? So you can kind of see we're keeping variations. We're keeping good volume kind of up, but we're also mixing in some old school classics for us here. It's an absolute banger of a workout, by the way. And obviously testing out kind of skills under practice. Wednesday, as you can see, as we go through the weeks, you're going to see a slight change in complexes. We'll be dropping this kind of complex down. Like at the moment, we got a lot of kind of volume coming through those kind of sets, okay? Week 2, Thursday, capacity day, where every 3 minutes, now basically what's going to happen here across the 36 minutes is max calories on an erg, okay? But every 3 minutes, we're going to do stuff in between stations. So again, guys, we're looking to keep ourselves up on the wall balls, picking that number, calories on the row, toaster bar, so we're looking at some skills or sit-ups, ski ergs, and then burpee to plate and then max bikes. So we're really trying to get that flush out and changing over every 3 minutes. Your score should be combined calories, but our capacity piece is the same. We're looking at singly, working on your own there, guys, but moving around the stations to get our head locked in the game. Friday, we see the return of the deadlift in week 2. But as you can see here, you're going to see, again, the same structures like squats and the presses, where week 2 and 3, you'll start to see, I'm going to pull it up, like 10 reps, 8 reps, 2 and 3. And then in week 4, you'll start to see a bit more like 5s, building as capacities like 5, 5, 5. And then in week 5 and 6, you'll start to see like 4s, 3s, and 2s. Okay, so we'll start building as we increase through the kind of the weeks for me as well. Obviously, you can see from Friday, we're changing up a bit of stance as well. Guys, obviously in the perform afterwards, you then have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of kettlebell farmer carries, ski ergs, and then obviously just working into ski erg cows. So we're building a lot more kind of grip strength as we go through. There's no Saturday there yet because you know what's kind of coming on the channel. Guys, I hope that makes sense. I hope that kind of gives you a bit of idea on where we're going with this program and the results we're really looking for, okay? Guys, have a great time. You know full well fact that you can come and speak to me, ask me questions on the gym floor about the program. The coaches then have a lot more impetus and input into kind of making sure you're doing the right things and the right stimulus on the program as well. Guys, have a good day. Hope that makes sense. Catch you on the flip side.